The arrival of Valentine's season brings to my mind a holiday movie that I watched in Christmas not long ago, A Biltmore Christmas. This romantic film tells the story of an accidental time travel encounter between a young, beautiful screenwriter from the present day, Lucy, played by actress Bethany Joy Lenz, and a dashing, heartthrob Hollywood actor, Jack, played by actor Christopher Polaha, in the mid-1940s. The movie enchants not only with its story and leading couple, but also with its nostalgic evocation of Golden Age Hollywood glamour, chivalrous gentlemen, elegant fashion and style, that brought to life against the magnificent backdrop of Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. Ever since seeing the film, I became fascinated by the Biltmore Estate that felt like it has casted a certain spell on me, and my desire has grown to know more about this extraordinary property, or at least to live with something that reveals more of its beauty. While discovering the new book titled Biltmore House, The Interiors and Collections of George W. Vanderbilt barely a month ago, it was like a New Year magic that I simply can't wait to acquire a copy as a personal promise and a keepsake in the making. Published by Rizzoli USA in February 2026, this volume is written by Darren Pupor, Director of Curatorial Affairs and Archives at Biltmore, and Laura C. Jenkins, a London-based art historian and interiors specialist, with photography by renowned interiors photographer, William Abranowicz. This stunning copy offers an impressive visual tour of the estate and museum, while also granting an intimate glimpse into the life of the late George Washington Vanderbilt II, owner of the house and a prominent member of the Vanderbilt family, revealing his passionate pursuit of refined art and gracious living. Set amid the tranquil, verdant countryside surrounding Asheville, the estate reflects George Vanderbilt's discerning eye in choosing a site that feels both secluded and restorative, a private sanctuary in the mountains. Construction of Biltmore House began in 1889 and took approximately 6 years before its opening in 1895, marking the realization of Vanderbilt's ambitious vision. To bring this dream home to life, he engaged two of the finest talents of the age, the celebrated American architect, Richard Morris Hunt, who had designed houses for other Vanderbilt family members, to oversee the design of the Grand Mansion, and the renowned landscape architect, Frederick Law Olmsted, famed for his American urban parks, to shape the estate's expansive grounds and gardens. With its Chateauesque, French Renaissance-inspired design, Biltmore House stands as one of the grandest private residences in the United States and the country's largest home, often described as an American chateau that distills historic European beauty into an American setting. The first impression I have about the Biltmore House is that it somehow recalls my visit at Château de Chambord in the Loire Valley back in 2016, and that resemblance is no accident. The aesthetic of Biltmore House draws on French Renaissance precedents and on-site visits that both George Vanderbilt and Richard Morris Hunt made to numerous castles in France and England, including Château de Blois and Chambord in France and Waddesdon Manor in England. One particularly memorable detail is the dramatic spiral staircase on one side of the facade, a distinctive architectural feature that leaves a lasting impression. As one of the largest private homes of its time, Biltmore House encompasses an extraordinary array of advanced and luxurious amenities, including 250 rooms, among them 35 bedrooms for family and guests, 43 bathrooms, and 65 fireplaces. These rooms are furnished with refined furniture, textiles, and works of art that George Vanderbilt collected during his extensive travels across Europe and beyond, from France and England to India and Asia, commissioning pieces from artisans celebrated in their fields. The result is an interior world that reflects both the Renaissance-inflected elegance of the architecture, and the aristocratic luxury of America's Gilded Age. This remarkable book documents those interiors in sumptuous new photography, some images appearing in print for the first time. Enabling history and interior design connoisseurs to experience each salon and room at close range. Among the highlights is the sumptuous Louis XV guest bedroom, decorated in 18th-century French style with Bordeaux red silk cut velvet wall textiles woven by French specialists in Lyon, matching with elegant and refined furniture, such as a chaise long upholstered in rich fabric evocative of European imperial luxury, and a regent's giltwood mirror above a marble chimneypiece combine to transport both the owner and guests into a world of European nobility, right on American soil. This volume also includes rare archival photographs of George Vanderbilt and his family, capturing their way of life and the sophisticated fashion of their era, alongside documents that testify to the immense resources, effort, and devotion invested in creating and maintaining such an enchanting private house. These materials lend the book an almost intimate, documentary quality, making it especially compelling to readers fascinated by social history and the art of living. The book further serves as a visual guide to some of the estate's most distinctive spaces, such as the octagonal, sunken winter garden. With its Gothic-inspired roof structure, the space is planted with exotic palms and plants. And a marble and bronze fountain sculpture called Boys Stealing Geese at the center, created by Viennese-born American artist, Karl Bitter. From there, one can imagine moving on to the banquet hall, the largest room in the house, designed in a 19th-century medieval style that blends French and English traditions. The hall's high ceiling and stone walls are animated by luxurious wall hangings. Some tapestries were rediscovered in storage at European chateaux, along with armor displays and American Revolutionary-era flags, all framing a grand oak dining table made by a distinguished London craftsman and surrounded by Baroque-style dining chairs that heighten the sense of ceremony. Nearby, the Tapestry Gallery, whose decoration takes inspiration from Château de Pierrefonds in Oise, presents 16th-century Brussels tapestries, bronze sculptures, and candelabra, creating a nostalgic atmosphere that evokes the so-called Golden Age of French architecture. For a devotee of books, perhaps the most fascinating space is the library, a two-story room that fuses French architectural grandeur with the warmth of an English country house and the cultivated spirit of the old-world literary salon. Housing approximately 22,000 volumes assembled by George Vanderbilt over his lifetime, the library exudes the air of a refined gentleman's club in London, serene, urbane, and designed to encourage reading, reflection, and lively exchange among guests. Its sumptuous furnishings and carefully chosen decorative objects underscore Vanderbilt's passion for literature and knowledge, making this room a sanctuary for the mind as much as for the eye. Throughout the book, not only it recounts the history of Biltmore House, George Vanderbilt's cultivated taste, and his art of living, but also reads as a heartfelt chronicle of the estate team's ongoing dedication to preserving the property at the level of its heyday. Their work ensures that visitors today can continue to marvel at this historic gem nestled deep in the North Carolina countryside. If Lucy and a Biltmore Christmas can turn the magical hourglass in the library and slip back into the golden glamour of Hollywood at Biltmore House, then this book becomes, in its own way, a similar conduit. It allows one to revisit the American Gilded Age elegance and art of living that defined the Vanderbilt's world. And to contemplate this magnificent American chateau where aristocratic history and personal memory intertwine in a way that feels both timeless and profoundly worth preserving.